What's up everyone? In this video we'll show you how to install the RetroGlow for Game Boy Color. This kit features 9 LEDs which light up all the buttons and the power LED. The colors are fully customizable and this kit features 2 different animation modes. This kit is designed to be compatible with all existing and future IPS display models, which use the buttons for control. We will have a link to a written install guide, a user guide, and a link to purchase this kit specifically in the description below. This video assumes that you already have your Game Boy Color mainboard removed. First, we'll go over the recommended tools that you'll need to complete this process. We recommend a J0 screwdriver, a Y0 screwdriver, a plastic spudger tool, a set of tweezers, Kapton tape, soldering iron, and a fume extractor or a fan, leaded solder, soldering flux, liquid or gel is fine here, Q-tips, 99% alcohol or as close as you can get in your area, fresh batteries or a fully charged set, and soldering braid or wick is optional but helpful if you're trying to fix a soldering mistake. With the shopping list out of the way, let's begin. We'll need to remove the original power LED. Let's start by flipping the main board button side down so we can get a look at the LED rear contacts. Apply some flux on the solder joints as shown. Now we're going to flip this board over and hold it up at an angle while heating the contacts behind the LED. The LED should drop out, but if you're having some trouble like I did, you can flip it over and grab it with some tweezers and go underneath the LED. Now we'll just set that LED to the side and we'll move on to the next step. Now we're going to flip the main board back over so the button contacts are facing up. We're going to line up the LED PCB as shown. We like to use a small strip of Kapton tape here to retain the alignment during soldering. Try your best to line up all the gold contact holes with the circle pads on the main board. You'll see 8 of them in total. After confirming the alignment looks correct, we're going to go ahead and press down the Kapton tape to secure the flex PCB to the main board. At this point, we're going to apply some flux to the 5-volt connection point marked here. Flux is important to ensure proper connection. We're going to solder the 5-volt connection first, then we'll start to double check our alignment. Our soldering iron is set to 365 degrees Celsius, though your temperature might vary. Press the soldering iron against the connection in a way where it touches both the pen and the final contact point at the same time. Introduce some solder to the joint until you see the connection completed. At this point, we'll make sure everything is lined up correctly. If you need to make a correction, heat the 5-volt connection point and adjust the board accordingly. It all looks good to us, so we'll go ahead and apply flux and solder to the remaining contact points as shown. If you're installing an IPS kit alongside this LED kit, now's the perfect time to solder the connections for your IPS controls. Refer to your IPS install guide for details on which buttons you'll need. In our case, we need A, B, and select. So we'll go ahead and wire up those connections now. At this point, we're going to use the 99% alcohol as well as a Q-tip to clean up any flux residue. It's really important to get this as clean as possible to avoid any button input issues. Now that everything is soldered and cleaned up, let's go ahead and place the board into the rear shell and insert the batteries to make sure everything's working. When you power on this kit on for the first time, you'll see the lights showing red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple from the right side of the board to the left side of the board. We're going to go ahead and take the buttons and membranes and install them to the front housing as shown. There's only one way for these to go in, so don't worry about getting them mixed up. Before we put the main board into the front shell, we're going to go ahead and take this time to properly wire up the connections from the A, B, and select to the IPS kit. Your wiring may look a little different, but this should give you a good idea of how to successfully wire up your kit. We're going to install the main board into the front housing, and then we're going to take this time to also insert the display ribbon cable. Otherwise it gets a little difficult to do without bending it and possibly damaging it. Now we'll secure the main board with the 3 J0 screws as shown. Let's lock the display ribbon cable in place before continuing. We suggest using a plastic spudger tool here. Don't forget to install the power switch, and we're going to go ahead and install the rear shell as well. Before installing the final screws, we're going to do one more test to make sure everything's working. For a quick button test, we're going to go ahead and hold select and press right on the D-pad to enter brightness mode. You should see it flicker, and that will let us know everything's working. Looks like everything is working great here. If you're not getting the same results or you're getting something else, disassemble your Game Boy Color and go over the joints one more time with your soldering iron and additional plugs. Now that we know everything is working, we're going to go and replace those 6 Y0 screws on all locations shown. One final test indicates that everything is working as expected. For full details on how to customize this kit to your liking, again, you can find our written guide and a purchase link to the RetroGlow down below listed in the description. This kit is a surefire way to add some extra flair and customization to your Game Boy Color build. If you need support, feel free to contact our support email as shown below. If you enjoyed this video, shoot us a like and hit that subscribe button, and thank you all for watching. We'll see you next time.